Europe's Western Front is the setting as European Union leaders prepare to mark the centenary of World War I. Up to 400,000 soldiers lost their lives in the wide, open and often muddy flatlands around the Belgian town of Ypres. Almost half were from British Commonwealth countries. Belgians, French and of course Germans died in Flanders fields too. The leaders are gathering at the Menin Gate, a memorial on the main road where soldiers headed to battle, many never to return.
It will be a moving ceremony because we are here testifying what Europe is, a project of peace, a project of solidarity, a project of cooperation. We are not perfect, but for many people outside Europe, we are still a model of peace, of democracy, of prosperity and of social protection.
This shrine ensures that the soldiers who went missing in wartime will always be remembered. Their names are here, even though their bodies are not. Indeed, the remains of around 30 soldiers are still discovered in the fields of the Western Front each year, a century after the war. The director of the organisation that manages this site says the leaders could not have chosen a better spot.
I can't think of a more appropriate place for them to gather. The Menin Gate, the memorial to the missing. It was the first memorial to the missing and it commemorates 55,000 casualties of the First World War for whom we do not know where they are buried.
To mark the occasion, the European Union is donating a symbolic bench where people can come to sit and remember. Bronzed copper plates are stamped with the word peace in the EU's 24 official languages. In the shaded place next to the Menin Gate, the leaders will plant ceramic flowers. The ceremony on June 26th will also include the playing of the last post, the traditional final military salute to the fallen. The last post is sounded under the Menin Gate every evening. Tourists, veterans and servicemen and women from around the world gather to watch, to lay wreaths or simply to pay their respects in silence.
With the inauguration of the Menin Gate in 1927, for the first time the last post has been sounded, and this made such an impact on all the people attending the ceremony and also the Ypres citizens. So from 1928 on we began with our ceremony, until now without fault, except during the Second World War.
4 buglers from the fire brigade usually play the last post. 2 teams alternate each week. Tony de Stott has been taking part in the ceremony for 19 years. As a child, the moving strains of the last post reached his window each night. By the age of 14, he'd learned to play it in full.
We see the emotion every day, people cry, and when we we come to hear it. When we are not on duty, we even get some goosebumps, but when we do it on our own, we don't have so many feelings, we just focus on the last post.
World War I ravaged lives, families and the very land itself. More than 150 cemeteries lie scattered around Ypres. Many mass graves remain in silent testimony to a land so thoroughly scarred by battle a century ago. Work continues even today, the constant refurbishing of headstones, some 22,000 every year, keeping memories alive. Life in Europe goes on, but the conflict in Ukraine and the rise of extremist parties are a stark reminder of how little it would take to turn back the clock, of how easy it can be to forget.
We're very proud to look after the cemeteries and memorials that we do care for, but I think let's not have cause to build any more. We have enough. And these memorials themselves are, I think, the best demonstration of why we should avoid war at all costs. So how wonderful it is that all the heads of government of Europe where we had the 2 world wars are gathering here. I think that's hugely significant and poignant and appropriate.